Hey, Craig Pritts here, PTC Benefits. Sitting here with Larry Honing from Techstra Solutions. Larry, tell us a little bit about Techstra.
Techstra Solutions is a Pittsburgh-based company. It was actually started by my wife 14 years ago. And it's basically focused around digital transformation, helping companies from a consulting perspective, a technical execution perspective, really transform or implement change in adopting new technologies, whether it's with data, cloud, automation, modernizing things. Like we do projects that basically will automate repetitive processes that the businesses will have. We'll do projects that will take old mainframe systems and rewrite them into the cloud. So a lot of interesting projects with a lot of large companies that really have a hard time adopting new technologies and are slow to progress. So
that's exciting. Way more exciting than insurance. That's what we're going to talk a little bit about today, though. We'll talk about employee benefits. Yeah, so we had the pleasure of working together over the last, maybe couple years, I think it's been?
probably 7 years.
It's been the time flies, doesn't it? Yes. So about the last 7 years, we've been working together on the benefits, and we'll just talk a little bit about that today. I think when we started off, it was, you guys were pretty small. And here we are today. You guys just keep growing. Keep growing, medical, dental, vision. We have short and long-term disability in place today, working on life and voluntary benefits, and just keep growing the package out. Larry, I know in the beginning when we talked that there were very specific needs that you had, and I think we addressed them with the deep toolbox, but let's talk a little bit about that. So your employees just aren't all right here in your backyard. They're everywhere, right? You've got people in how many different states now? It's
The 40, 50 states, actually. Actually, we've got a good combination of employees and contractors. Well, that's hard to keep track of it. We've been a pretty steep growth trajectory. And, end of the day, we have to offer, the best benefits we can because we're pulling people from companies like Amazon, like Microsoft, that have great packages. And being a smaller company, it's a little hard sometimes to compete, but you guys have really helped us level the playing field a little bit.
Yeah, I think one of the ways that really helped us do that for you was leveraging the Technology Council and some of the unique products they have. We go to market, we look at 20, 30 different carriers, but in the end, when you're a Tech Council member, it seems like there are some benefits that just rise to the top. Dental and vision, both national products, but basically benefits that we just couldn't find anywhere else off the street. Short and long-term disability that we put in. I know we went to market and we looked at a lot of different carriers there. Definitely want to talk about that. Lincoln has been administering a program for the Tech Council members, just going back to 2012 now. Those members have never had a rate increase. We got you in there now for a year or so. Those rates are locked in till the beginning of 2028, I believe now. Mm-hmm. And I talked to Lincoln not too long ago, and their hopes that they're going to lock those in for another couple of years on top of that. So we're hoping for a lot of stability there. I know we've had it over the last 15 years. People that got in the program back in 2012 have never seen their rates change on their disability or their life insurance.
Absolutely. I will say that it's been a progression for us. So when we started out, we had mostly contractors 14 years ago. And as we started bringing on talent, leadership, everybody has families. They all want to, have the person ask you what their benefits like and all that. And when we started out, it was like we gave people stipends, right? So it was an interesting way. We kind of avoided that a little bit. But, as we got larger and larger, people asking for more and more. And a little more sophisticated now than they used to be. It's one thing hiring somebody who might be out of college and take whatever they want, but we bring in more seasoned people. Most of my team they expect a lot. So I think you've been great in helping us kind of navigate this whole ecosystem, because I will equate that. I have two daughters that basically we had to make college decisions on like other parents do. And that was a hell decision, very expensive. And I equate insurance the same way. Like and it's a necessary evil, gotta have it. But it's very confusing. There's so many options, and without, we were a much smaller company. And, just even the minimum employee requirements was a challenge, right? And so I think that our options were limited. I think that as we've grown, we'd be able to add on things like short-term life. All employees are also looking at to be a fully rounded kind of organization. But I would say that the options out there, whether we went direct to, whether employees went direct to these programs that are out there, you guys have been great because you guys have really brought us really quality programs and giving us a lot of optionality. And that's, I think the biggest thing is that, there's definitely way too many options out there, very expensive, and we have to balance the cost with the benefit. But you've been really good at showing us what's out there, comparing things, and especially with short and long-term disability. I mean, there's 100 companies that have called me up for that, and you guys have been really good at saying, hey, here's what's out there. Here's where I recommend. You're always getting that guidance, which we need desperately. We know technology. We're not insurance experts, although when it comes to data and claims on insurance, we know that pretty well. But not choosing our insurance plans as well.
The Lincoln program is exciting because there's some enhanced benefits in there, things that we just couldn't get from any other carrier because you're a part of the Tech Council. But, going back to the growth, as I think about it, I was thinking about our experiences over the last couple of years and how exciting the growth was, but also there was some scary times as well. What does this growth mean? What does it mean when we have employees in certain states? What are the requirements? What hoops do we have to jump through for our employees, just in general, to meet the guidelines, to be in compliance? And I know we've had some different conversations. We've set you up with our director of legislative awareness and training over the years, and had some different conversations. So that growth is very exciting, but it gets to be very scary as well.
Absolutely. I mean, I'll say that, first of all, we have two big Jens, and as you know, my company, my wife, and Jen Craning, who's actually the head of HR. And Jen usually has the burden of working through this with you, but she's been great. And, we set the company up for growth. We knew that from the beginning, that we're going to need to be able to onboard, offboard people quickly, efficiently, automate. We put the systems in place because we know technology, but we didn't have the insurance and the benefits and all that kind of in place. I think, you guys have been great at every stage that we look at, helping look at where we need to go. And I think that, from an ACA perspective, there's obviously things when you're under 50 that you can get away with and have some flexibility, but you've been really good, especially with compliance folks, at steering. So we can understand that, when you hit 50, we didn't want a dramatic change to all our benefits and make different decisions. And the team of folks that you have, beyond the choosing what do we do in this situation, or what does this, regulation mean to us and stuff, been really patient with us and helping us understand and be able to think, in the future. Don't think about where you're at today and your number of people you have today. You're growing on this path. You're adding people every year. And at the end of the day, you're going to be at that very quickly, which we did. We surpassed that very quickly. And so it's really a good thing that we had that forethought with those people to help us kind of guide us through and make the right decisions upfront first time. Let's make all those changes later on.
Right. And instead of getting hit with it when you change. And, we want benefits to be simple. And the truth is it's not. It is confusing. And when you factor in all the government requirements and regulations, the reporting and everything you have to do, there is a lot to it. And there is a lot to be aware of as you grow. There's different numbers that mean different milestones that mean, that triggers me to do this now that I didn't have to do before. So yeah, we're happy to be a part of that. I think it's important that we help you stay in compliance, because then you're going to have your benefits longer. You're going to do the right thing. You're not going to get in trouble. We need to help you along that way. And I'm glad we've been able to do that and make those connections.
Absolutely. No, it's a scary thing. I mean, I created a college from a cost perspective and choice. I look at things like Microsoft licensing. We're all in technology. You need to have an MBA in that. And so we don't have those experts in our staff, but it's good to have partners like yourselves that we can go to one quick call. And, and especially you, you're always, if you don't know it, you'll get the right person. And there's always somebody at MBA that you can actually bring in and help us out. So it's been.
I know your team loves working with our team. We have that benefit service team behind the scenes. They're there just to answer questions for the employees. And I check, and it seems like your employees take advantage of that service. They're reaching out. It seems like a lot of people got to know people over there now. They're
absolutely. I mean, when you think about kind of this program, we wanted more than just somebody to sell us insurance. We wanted somebody who participated with our employees to actually help them understand what benefits they got. All those flyers, all those education sessions you guys do once a year, it's been really helpful. The open enrollment is obviously the one time, but beyond open enrollment, there's always things that come up. So people have the situations that things that are authorized. They go see a doctor, especially because we're in a national situation. Folks that are essentially in other cities, other states don't have maybe Heimer. They have some other brand, right? They don't always know how to navigate our insurance. And so you'd be really good at basically thinking, one number, call these guys up, and they'll figure it out. I'm going to have this procedure. The doctor's saying they can't carry. You guys work it all out. They're usually pretty happy and helping through that.
So yeah, love the team. We love working with you. We really do. We hope you continue to grow. Good things come, and
Absolutely. No, we're excited. And like I said, we're kind of positioning ourselves for growth. It had year over year prior to COVID, kind of keep things going. And we hope that will be the future. And we like the situation of hitting these barriers where we have these regulations. I mean, I hear regulations, that means we're doing some good things. That's a good thing.
it does. And we love every time employees come and ask for some new benefit, because it's in the toolbox. We got it. We'll find it. We'll find the best option for you. I think we have the largest toolbox of solutions out there of any broker in the area. And so we love when your employees come and ask for new stuff.
Yeah, well, I tell you, it's intimidating because you have that big toolbox, and I'm like, okay, come on, Craig, narrow it down from the, one of the things I do with Craig all the time, I'm like, okay, company this size in Pittsburgh, what kind of decisions would they have made, or where are the options they're looking at, and kind of, give me that. I don't have like days to sit there and analyze this thing. Jen Crennan does, by the way, because I rely on her to do that kind of stuff. But in general, we're able to kind of get down to tactics pretty quickly, and you give us some, I think, really sound advice, which we're really appreciative of.
I think part of that's a combination of almost 20 years of experience, but I also have access to, I think, the largest amount of benchmarking data in the country. And so I can tap into that and find out what other technology companies are doing, not only here, but nationally, different areas. It just helps us guide that ship the right way.
We've made a lot of wrong decisions as well.
Yeah.
We kind of course correct where we can, but like that's when you start up, like from a startup to where we're at today, you got to make a lot of decisions in this space. So just having some folks that have dealt with companies at different sizes is always really, really helpful.
One thing I find in this industry, when you have the most information, the decisions become easier. It's easy to make a decision when you feel like you have all the vital information. And I will say that of all the people I work with, you might be the one person who asked me for that more of that information than anybody else out there. I know going in, I tell my partners, my teammates, when we're putting together anything for Techstra, let's think of every possible question that somebody could ask, and let's make sure that we provide all that information, because that's Larry. All right, that's Larry.
Larry knows I do pivot tables.
Yes. Yeah, Larry looks at the data very, very detailed. And I feel like it's easy to make a decision, though, when you have all the data. When it's all there in front of you, the decision kind of rises to the top.
Absolutely. It's just really getting someone to say, okay, Larry, what you're thinking is right.
Yeah,
you're on the right track.
Yeah.
In the wrong direction. Don't look over there. Look over here.
So I don't know that you've moved in the wrong direction.
It's all good. All good. No, I can't imagine the thing without you. You guys have been awesome.
We appreciate you. We very much appreciate you.
I mean, to have this kind of benefit, people always ask me, like, where do you get your benefits and all this? And I'm always like, Tech Council has got one of the best benefits out there. I mean, this is one of the, besides the great leadership you have here, I mean, to bring these kind of connections in here. And it's not just, to be honest, not just even you. There's other benefits that our applicant tracking system and things like that have come through relationships through the Tech Council. So it's been also really helpful to have that kind of ecosystem or technology neighborhood, so to speak, that we kind of work with. So
the Tech Council's benefit program, it's awesome. And it goes back to the early 80s. I want to say 83 or 84 was when the Tech Council's benefit program first started. And the truth is, they do so much awesome stuff that it is just one of those small things in their many pillars of help that they provide. But I can tell you from experience, 20 years in this industry, working with many different associations, they do have some of the strongest benefits I've seen. And part of that has to do with technology just being a good risk. In general, technology, people who work in technology, they represent a good risk. And that good risk translates into good rates for the members, translates into good programs, special deals, unique things that just don't exist outside of the Tech Council.
I got to tell you, I'm a little surprised because Technology Council are a bunch of people like me that have glasses because they're staring at screens all the time. So vision's like, they need a good vision. Vision program. Yeah. And, I remember when I first went to get glasses and I have contacts, and I'm used to which one are you going to get this year? You're going to get the glasses and get the contacts. And the woman looks at me, she's like, who do you have your insurance through? She's like, this is one of the best negotiators. You get both. Yeah. Same year. I'm like, really? Yeah. And I'm like, wow, I'm another program. And those kind of, the fact that you're able to have such a negotiating power because of the Tech Council is huge. And that's something that, as an individual company, you just don't have that.
And that is a very common thing we hear when people pull out their dental card, their vision card, their life or disability, we often hear from third-party people, wow,
That is what we're used to seeing.
Larry, thank you.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate the tech council as well as, my benefit advisor helping us throughout her journey. So thank you.
Wonderful.